As you look around, is there anybody missing that may show up late?
We'll just ask you guys to speak out.
Are these all good, the way they are set up,
Yeah.
everyone? Where's Maria? Come up here. You come in the middle? Here.
Okay, my name is Tom Monahan, and I'm going to moderate this. Thank you all for coming. This is a happy day for all of us. It's been a long battle since February, but today it's over. I want to take a few minutes introducing people. Obviously, Maurice Watson is standing next to me. Mallory Hughes, who did the lion's share of the work. Stu Dornan, who's his firm, and he's led the charge. Behind us is Maurice Sr., Charlena, Maurice's mother, Tyrese, who is the tall point guard, and Tamir, who's been hanging out with Maurice for a long time and helping him. So Stu and I both, as ex-prosecutors, know that once a case is filed, it's difficult for prosecutors to dismiss cases because people get invested in it. And we're appreciative of the fact that the county attorney's office finally came to the conclusion that this was a case that had to be dismissed. The facts were such that it had to be dismissed. And we're going to ask Mallory Hughes to spend a few minutes talking about the facts that led to that and the work that we did on that. I would ask that until we're done, you hold your questions. We're going to have Mallory visit with you, and then Stu, and then Maurice.
Good afternoon. We are incredibly pleased with the result today. It's been a very long road for Maurice and for his entire family. Through diligent discovery and investigation, we were able to file several pleadings and proceed with those pleadings in a way that revealed a lot of things that were not known when this case was filed. And I think that led to the result that we have today, and we're incredibly happy.
This is a great opportunity for Maurice, who's a very talented young man, a very fine young man, to have this nightmare be over. And he has the career ahead of him. His dream is back alive, to be a professional basketball player. He's got a lot of people who are very interested in him helping them with their team. And he's always been a great asset to the community and will continue to be an asset to the community. So we're thrilled that Maurice Watson will be able to continue with his dream.
You know, I just want to say I'm really sorry, you know, for my family and my friends and the city of Philadelphia who I represent every day and what they've had to endure in these last 7 to 8 months. And, you know, I'm really happy that this state is over and, you know, I can get back to, you know, focusing on my career, getting my knee right and making the steps necessary to get my degree from Creighton. Thank you.
Questions?
Maurice, do you want to be reinstated at Creighton as a student, obviously?
I would love to be able to get my degree with from the credits that I was at and the place that I was at when this all started. I would like to be back at that spot so I can finish with the plans that me and my family had.
Can you speak to can anybody speak to that, or Maurice yourself? Like, what's the process? Because they expelled you before these allegations were proven, obviously.
We don't know what the process is, but we will reach out to Creighton and sit down and talk to them and say, we think these charges were inappropriate. They were inappropriate at the time, and they certainly are inappropriate now, and we'd like to have Maurice reinstated.
Maurice, how confident were you that this would be the conclusion?
I was confident from day one. You know, this whole process, I've been solely focused on rehabbing my knee and keeping my mind right, getting closer to my family. That's what's needed to get through things like this. And I really left it into my hands of my great lawyers who have been working every single day tirelessly to help clear my name, and I'm happy that they were successful in doing that.
Maurice, can you talk about the emotion, what you felt inside that courtroom today?
I felt the emotion of everyone around me and the way this was affecting them. You know, I'm a pretty strong guy and not thinking about myself in situations, but one thing that this case really did was affect my family and friends around me. So for them to be happy and to be emotional and to have tears of joy, it's a long road for us, and we prayed long days and nights for this, and we put up with a lot, and I was happy for them as much as I was happy for myself.
Mallory, can you talk about some of those evidentiary things that came up after the fact, after the charges were filed, that helped your guys' case?
Yeah, I think without getting into the details of those things, there are pleadings and orders that are on file, public, that contain a lot of the things that were discovered throughout the investigation in this case after the filing. And I think that, again, those things led to the result, and those are all public at this point.
Was someone coming forward?
Let me just respond. One of the things that we did real early on is do investigation. And it was clear from the investigations that we did that this was not a case that should have been prosecuted. And so we worked on that. And as we developed that, we provided that information to the county attorney's office.
Jake, did you have?
Was it someone coming forward? Was it certain text messages that you had found on a phone later on, or what kind of? Without going into a ton of it, what kind of was it?
I would say all of the above. Again, I mean, it's part of the pleadings. It's part of some of the orders that have been issued. Some of the things that were going to be litigated, but we didn't get to that point. Yeah.
Maurice, do you feel like Creighton treated you fairly?
That's probably a question that he ought not to answer, because we really want to make amends with Creighton and then have them make amends with us. We'd like to sit down and have a good conversation with him. We'd like to have him go back to school and get his degree. We don't want to worry that much about the past. We want to move forward and worry about the future.
How close are you to the degree?
At the time that I got hurt, the plan was for me to be done with the credits by April 1st so I could go and start working out and get ready for the NBA draft. Obviously things changed with my injury, but I was scheduled to be done with school April 1st. So very close. And I should have.
What would you like to tell possible suitors in the NBA or basketball career beyond this, after this is finally set up?
Just that I'm just the same person that I've always been. I'm really family oriented, and I just work hard, and I want to stay under the fray. Treat everybody nice, and I want to continue to get back to being a leader. And to be able to lead through a tough time is something that I really tried to focus on, to hone on, and trying to push my friends to continue to play well during the season, my brothers to do well at school, my mom to go to work, my dad to go to work. That type of stuff to lead when it's really looking bad for me is what I really want the NBA teams, or to really take heed in. That what I learned out this process is something that's going to change me for the better forever.
Maurice's personality is reflected on the court. He's a giver. He's not a taker. He was leading the nation in assists. He helps other people. He's a good teammate. He's a very fine person. And that's the sort of person that's going to, when he goes into the professional arena, that's the person that he is, and that's the person any team that's fortunate enough to get him is going to have.
Were there any red flags from the beginning with this case? And if so, what were some of those?
I believe that as this investigation continued, there continued to be red flags that called into question issues of credibility and things like that.
So issues with the victim's testimony, things like that?
I want to be clear that it's the accuser. She's not a victim.
Right.
She's an accuser.
And again, I hate to keep referring you guys to pleadings and motions, but I mean, those are very detailed, and those are based on law and facts, and I think that those led us to where we are today.
Can you talk about the motion you filed on September 12th?
There was a hearing that was to be scheduled on October 6th based on that motion. The motion's available, it's public. I'm not gonna recite it here, but you guys can all take a look at it.
Our goal is to move forward, look for the future. We don't want to hamper you at your work, but we're not going to do it for you.
Maurice, can you talk to us about your thoughts on whether you think this would have went this far had you not been Maurice Watson, had you not been the high-profile Creighton basketball star?
Yeah, but the problem is he is Maurice Watson.
And we can't get around that. We can't get around that. I mean, When I first decided to transfer to Creighton, it was made very clear to me that if you did what you wanted to do and became the face of the program like you wanted to, anything you do would be on the front page of the paper, whether it be good or bad. Now, whether the process is played out the way they're supposed to, all that stuff, that's for everybody else to decide, and that's for the justice system to figure out. All I wanted to do was make sure that I didn't, further hurt myself by letting my emotion get the best of me and moving in ways that I shouldn't have been moving. I really just wanted to take the advice of my attorneys and my parents and keep my brothers strong with the outside forces that were trying to break our family and continue to move forward so we can live our lives.
What have you learned from all of this, now looking back on it?
I really just learned that, I had to really unhumble myself to understand how everyone saw me and realize that I can't be moving as open and as, fast as I was in terms of going out a lot. I should have been, just focused. So I've learned to really become closer to God. I've learned patience. I've learned self-control. I've learned discipline to ways that I never thought I would. I was playing really well. I was leading the team well. I've never been in anything. So, in my mind, you could say that I may have said, I've kind of got the things down I need to be successful. And I feel like God needed me to realize that there were other things that I needed to, to perfect in myself in order to be successful on and off the court and as a better person.
Maurice, can you describe what it was like? How did it feel? I mean, just the last 8 months, the charges, seeing this in the news so much, what did that feel like for you?
It's really tough. I have friends and family members who have gone through things like this. I have friends who have gone through it and people have got away. Our favorite show as a family is Law and Order SVU. So this is the worst type of person in the world to me that they were trying to make me out to be. And the last 8 months of being able to just be quiet and not try to defend myself by talking and speaking was hard. But at the end of the day, the people who are closest to me and the people who really know me and the people who really read what they were reading, they know my character. I've been the same since I was born, and I don't plan on changing. My mother and father instilled great values in me, and at the end of the day, I want to look up. I want to be someone that my brothers can look up to, and this really stopped a lot of that. And I was really just making sure that people thought the same of me, who I cared about. Everybody else on the outside was just a distraction for us.
You plan on staying around Omar? You plan on going back to Philadelphia? What's kind of the next step for you?
I'm currently still rehabbing my knee. I was rehabbing in Philadelphia for the first 5 or 6 months. I came back up here to really get this done. So now this is over. I'm gonna go back to Philly and kind of take some decompression time, but stay rehab my knee. This last 8 months has been the time I need to get myself together. So I'm gonna wait any opportunity I have, if there is some, or when there is some. If not, I realize that I have to get my life back in order before the basketball court. And when my life is back together, then the basketball court will flow right into that.
Anything else?
How did was it a struggle to arrive at the conclusion that you still want to finish out at Creighton after what you've been through?
It was a struggle, but everything's a struggle when you're thinking about things and you're trying to move on with your life, whether it's bad or good. You want to have a prestigious degree from a prestigious university, and regardless of how this went down, having a degree from Creighton will better my chances of working in the future. So and I was really close, and I'm not going to let my feelings and my emotions hinder what is important. And I promised my mom a degree. I came back to school for a 5th year to get that degree, so that's my plan, to get that degree from Creighton.
That sounds like a good answer to stop on. Thank you all very much for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.